Back, it's time for our second series of the day. Another elimination best of 3 here in the Galaxy Battles SEA qualifiers. This time in Group B. We've been sticking to Group A for the most part here for the past 2 days. We haven't seen either HappyFeet or WGU live on stream, but I do happen to know that they are some pretty decent SEA teams, you could say.
10 seconds remaining.
And well, they've did the homework. If you look at the first band, the clockwork is here that WGU has played every single time in this tournament if they could get away with it, like as in if it hasn't been banned out or picked first against them. And Winter Wyvern is a similar story for HappyFeet. So both of these teams, they do want to win and they do whatever it takes. Ogre Magi seems to be a staple of SEA, or at least quickly becoming that for a number of teams. So should be interesting. It's super solid, doesn't give anything away, but it's not really the big hero that makes flashy plays. It can't really help you if you're falling from behind. It's not like the Winter Wyvern that's been banned out. That has a big turnaround button that you can make use to just turn the strength of the enemy against them, essentially. It works extremely well if you're ahead, and can still work okay if you're even like some damage over time. You have get that interruption from the fire blast, and most importantly that bloodlust to help out your right click carry. Alright, WGU though, Spiritbreaker, Darkseer. It's a pretty old combo, but pretty effective still regardless. Darkseer puts the Iron Shell on Spiritbreaker, plus a Surge even to make sure that if he gets bashes, that they hit a little bit harder, and that he can keep that he can keep close to people beyond the charge. So pretty strong pressure offlane. I think that's the way to go in this patch as well, considering that solo offlaners are generally having a hard time just getting experience in first place. So if you have these kind of dual lanes that don't need much else on pressure, and they can also rotate to other lanes, right? Spiritbreaker can just easily charge somewhere else, even from the top lane, so you can carry the Iron Shell with him. Sometimes you see these kind of plays with Earth Spirits even, right? Earth Spirit just goes top, picks up the Iron Shell from Darkseer, then TPs somewhere else, starts rolling and tossing stones everywhere. So definitely look towards that. Nyx Assassin though, pretty solid, pretty solid against both of these heroes actually. Carapace can interrupt charges, I believe, and will definitely be an easy setup for the Darkseer. Like your invis popped by Carapace next on Iron Shell, Darkseer gets stunned up, and you have that easy follow-up to work with. So could be the 4 position, could also be in an offlane role if HappyFeet need to. Assassin flexible enough in that regard.
10 seconds remaining.
Very solid openers here for both teams.
Dire team ban.
Now we'll see where the push is going to come from, if at all. With the Darkseer, you open yourself up to a good number of possibilities when it comes to wombo combos. Earthshake is still in the pool if you want to look for that. As,
10 seconds remaining.
you already have the Spiritbreaker, so you don't really have a position free left for him, unless you want to run a mid or something, but that's very situational. And it would kind of leave you a little bit thin on the right click unless you pick up a really heavy physical damage core for your safe lane. But it's more likely you're just gonna see even something like a Sven, even though the cleave is also something that Nyx Assassin can stun you up with really easily. Curious to see what route they want to go. I feel like you need something like that. I mean, vacuum into charge on a couple of heroes can be good, but it's not necessarily easy to accomplish.
Dire team pick.
Oh well.
Radiant team pick.
Queen of Pain. Alright. That's some AoE damage at the very least to work with. So far, very guns facing forward kind of lineup from WGU. Get on top of somebody with a Spiritbreaker early on. Iron Shell doing damage, Queen of Pain coming in, providing that expert burst, and want to go from there.
5 seconds remaining.
You can still pick up Medusa, but who knows? Looking at their past drafts, they've also run the Tiny. So something that a lot of teams like to try out and go back to. While Razor, the hero, they even last picked Shake at one point, but didn't have a 3 and a 4 position picked that particular draft up against Fire Dragoon. So just go back to the Juggernauts if you want to be super safe. As for HappyFeet, well, you could go for some sort of global strat, like some sort of pick-off strat with the Nyx Assassin, because what he does is scout people out with a Vendetta. If you then have some sort of global help, you could just be an Invoker. Right?
Dire team pick.
Or Lifestealer, that also works, right? He's carrying that with him. Not quite global, but that extra +1. You need something else to make sure that Nyx Assassin can actually use Vendetta to set up for kills, because him alone, there's some heroes that he can kill. Darkseer, maybe even.
10 seconds.
Winter Pain's actually pretty susceptible to the mana burn in particular, but to make really sure you need that secondary hero either somewhere else across the map, just be it a Zeus, Invoker, with Sunstrike, a Spectre, even an Ancient Apparition with the Ice Blast. Need something like that, or you have the rest of your team behind you or in you in case of the Lifestealer. First All Star, that's a 4 position Nyx Assassin. They could even still go back for the Magnus. Now they could even run Magnus mid if they want to. So then you'd have the Lifestealer with the Empower buff up. That's proven to be quite effective in the past whenever I've seen it. But I haven't seen a lot of Magnus in general in SEA, so I'm not sure about that one. You already have the buff from the Ogre Magi though, so that alone is going to be useful for the Lifestealer, but if you double up on that, then it's kind of crazy. You have Bloodlust and Empower, you can turn anyone into a carry. Even Nyx Assassin eventually. I believe he gets his 100 agility talent or something at level 25.
Radiant team pick.
That's a bit crazy. Dazzle though, kind of like this one. A lot of armor and minus armor as well for the Lifestealer if he gets hit by that ultimate. He can also go for that medallion build up, help you with the Roche. And also help you go against a Lifestealer as a strength melee core. It doesn't have a lot of armor to work with until he builds into that AC.
5 seconds remaining.
So it's something perhaps worth exploiting. And they've yet to pick up a carry of their own, unless you want to run the Queen of Pain there and go completely aggro with Spiritbreaker, Dartle, and Darkseer. Wouldn't put it past them, honestly, right? Again, with the Surge, with the Charge, you can get close to people for a bit of a heal bomb. We'll see.
Dire team back.
Batrider, alright. It kind of fits into that same idea, right? Taking people off, Nyx Assassin scouting, Lifestealer either on him or the Batrider, depending on the hero that you find. Batrider and Nyx might just be enough themselves. Decent amount of control and lockdown.
10 seconds remaining.
So they're relying on this Lifestealer to do the majority of the physical damage.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team
It's really
back.
going to come down to these last couple of picks. See with the HappyFeet could go into the late game or not. Same for WGU. Right now they're pretty well set up to just try and kite around them. They have a lot of mobility between them, like Darkseer with the Surge, Spiritbreaker Charge obviously, Queen of Pain Blinks, so if they can read the map properly, if they can stay a step ahead of HappyFeet, pun intended, then they should be in a good position.
10
It can come down to who gets the job on who.
5 seconds remaining.
Who finds this early kill and plays. I don't really see a draft advantage by the team right now.
Dire team pick.
Stormspirit. Alright. That just changed because the Stormspirit is something that WGU right now they don't have a solution to. Pain can go Orchid eventually, but then Stone is supposed to use or something. Apart from that, I guess Spiritbreaker, right? If he manages to connect with a charge and then gets that bash if he primes it and the ultimate, another charge. That's the most reliable lockdown that you have up against the Stormspirit. Till, yeah, Phantom Lancer. Alright.
Choose your hero.
Pretty confident that they're gonna be able to leverage that even in the early game, because Ben-Hur, picking up that Storm Spirit now, he's still susceptible early on, especially in his mid matchup against the Queen of Pain, more than likely. Curious. Very curious indeed. Outside of that though, right, if Stormspirit gets off the ground, then it's yet another carrier for the Lifestealer.
10 seconds
You can make some use of the Bloodlust, but it's still mostly for the Lifestealer and his benefit. And that's also where the push is gonna come from. If Extract goes for that Desolator build-up, then you can do the Lifestealer thing and just walk up, rage, right-click the tower a couple of bit, and then a couple of times, and then you're fine. The problem with that is, again, the Spirit Breaker. After Moosh, he has his work cut out for him this game. And he's the type of player that just keeps going and going, and he's always seems to be finding the right angles. At the very least on his Kunkka, he's kind of infamous for that one. Played it once in the MDL, I believe. That was last time they picked it, so might come out of this series as well, who knows. But that same kind of mindset also helps you when you're playing Spirit Breaker. Just wanna put the pedal to the metal, don't let go of the gas, and just keep charging and keep trying to make things happen. And again, it's especially gonna be important up against the Storm Spirit in mid. So we might very well see these charges from the bottom lane. It picks up an Iron Shell and then goes forward. Right, here we are, game number 1 of this best of 3 in case you're just tuning in. This is an elimination series in the Galaxy Battles SEA qualifiers. The winner will move on to face up against Fire Dragoon. The loser is out. It's as simple as that. My name is Dragon Job, happy to bring you this series, and well, looks to be a standard trade for the time being, but if Extract, he's all alone down here. Might not know this. Doesn't look like they'll be able to do anything with that, because the moment he is in vision for a second after Moosh, he can just start with a charge. If he's doing what a lot of other people would be doing, just stand here for a little bit, then not exactly safe, and as a result he's just sitting behind his tier 2 tower instead, ready to block up the creeper if the rest of his team doing the bounty runes up in the top lane. Bolts from both sides, and this one has not been scattered out with the low ground ward here. Not sure if does this actually block vision, this big old tree trunk? I don't believe it does, I'm not sure.
The battle begins.
Regardless. Where's this pinging? Come on, guys. Settle down. Pharaoh gets both of these bounty runes. So that's super useful for WGU, but Ben-Hur is just not missing a beat either. And both of these TPing into mid. Pharaoh is able to walk after Moosh was taking over the creep block for a little bit. So, pretty good. We'll lose the range creep immediately, so the lane will push a little bit. Lane equilibrium with a 2v2 is always a little bit hard to maintain anyway, considering that both of these supports are melee. Ben-Hur might as well be with the limited range that he has to work with. Yeah. Generally speaking, that lane should be still favored towards the Queen of Pain once you get that Shadow Strike. Opted for the Blink first. This is safety, I'm not sure. I might have used it to make sure they can get to the mid lane in time too. Does mean that the top lane, we have a Phantom Lancer. He's still level 1, so quite vulnerable. Has to be careful about not stacking up too many napalm charges, especially with Nyx Assassin also sticking around here. Once you hit level 2, we're gonna have that doppelganger and you're able to purge it off. And I'll be absolutely fine, but for now, don't even have a stick. He started with the Mango, Iron Branch, and wants to finish up the stick in the side shot, but right now it doesn't have that chance. Nope, Dazzle doesn't have a stick either. X-Nova has to eat his way through the trees and I'll be fine. Level 2 available now for Jabami, so he should be okay. Meanwhile down bottom though, X-Strike is gonna get gone on that remove. He made the rotation, went around with the rage. The Iron Shell is ineffective for a couple of seconds. But the creeps are tanking up the tower. Velo continuing to try and burn him down. right now on level 1 Iron Shell, so the region is just able to tank up one of them with the Tango, but nice tower aggro switch. Afromush doesn't even die from this. The first blood in favor of WG. Top lane at the same time, Jules, Rappy, they're both very, very low. Japami just gets the last right click here. Does have another Spirit Lines as well, slowing down the next assassin. Only uses spells. If only he had the Phantom Rush, he could maybe finish that one off. Maybe not, but it would have been likely that this would have been used earlier. Cooldown at that time. That will be cancelled. Rappy comes right back. New Dazzle with Poison Touch. I've yet to play it actually. Need to try that out. Really helps to trade even more effectively, because if you then like take these 1-4 trades or these right click trades, then you're gonna be able to get more value out of it. Also means that you probably want to max it out rather than just getting these earlier points on the Charlotte Grave, which could be an issue depending on whether you need that extra range or not. Always a big what if scenario. They're gonna go again, X-Rack, 2/3 of his health points after Moosh. Does have level 2, so Bash is a potential. Suddenly here, if he surged forward into another charge as possible, Velo, he's actually the one who's done that from the Iron Shell on Aftermoon. Still holding on to the charge. In case he needs it for defense. Now trying towards the creep, trying to get both of them. Only getting X-Rack now. Surge again. Need another bash, or maybe just from some more right clicks. Lifestealer will fall one more time. Normally a hero that can deal with these kind of situations, but well, Jules throws out the stun, finds both of them. This time the tower actually aggroes onto Velo. He's in a bit of trouble after Moosh. Doesn't have enough mana for another charge in a couple of seconds. Setting up for that, maybe threatening after Moosh a little bit. Yeah. And he's fighting him. Spike Carapace, but the bash is there, holy hell. We're gonna bring him down with another surge. So yeah, this is the power of this dual lane. I was talking about it in the draft. There's a reason this is so strong. Top lane at the very least. Well, Rappy doing the stack action, if you will. But X-Nova, yeah, just soak a little bit of experience, maybe grab a few last hits here and there. Lane though, Afromush. Comes have an Invis rune here. Pharaoh, Benku might actually be in trouble. And he is indeed. The bash coming through to secure the kill. Both of them super low though now. Jules with the Rapper on play does have that stun. Easy setup here with the Fire Blast. And after this time he will drop. Not enough charges on his stick. He even had that when he got in there. Who knows? Overall, I mean, this is exactly the kind of game that you want to have as a Spirit Breaker. Just charging across, going ham. Especially slowing down his Lifestealer together with the Storm, but it's gonna be a big deal. Pharaoh forces to shrine up. He'll be right back in it soon. And then again, he's still vulnerable. As long as he's not level 6. But for now, try and do the same to the Lifestealer. If he is level 6, and he should now with the next creep going down, but it's not dying just yet. Has to pop the rage. Does have the Infest available maybe in the second tower. Yeah, he has it now. Where you have to start the surge away. Jules also making an appearance. Velo's actually still in trouble. Iron Shell going. We'll stun him up. This Ball of Impale only connects on the Spirit Breaker, and well, where's the bash? It's not there. So just surging away. Then HappyFeet come out better in that particular trade. It's still a Darkseer. Lifestealer, you cannot rage all the time for the Iron Shells. Afromush though, yeah, they want to punish him as well. Jesse bashed, Ball of Impale, this kind of hits. Well. And well, no one else going for the bounce runes. And then being intercepted. Good movement there from the supports. Jesse bash finds himself a ace rune, so hey. Yeah, doesn't stick out for emergencies, but Ben-Hur getting closer to his level 6. Also the type of hero that can farm up the jungle a little bit. Not sure if they have any stacks there. They've also worked up some stacks. Jesse Bash gonna And there to triple here if he can down bottom. Part of this though, that's without Jules up top, Rappy's gonna have a bit of a harder time. He's still getting his levels. So obviously you cannot really threaten either defense, and that's all it doesn't at this point even. Still holding a point just in case he needs it for Shallow Grave. And that's the 3 pots up on the hill. They're working away the tower. They also have a catapult to work with, so if they pick it up a little bit for themselves, then they should be fine, but looks like they want to finish it off later. I was gonna aggro up on that, okay. So maybe look at mid lane. Ben Hooger dies as Aftermush comes back into the fray. Just about next on the list from another charge. Tower's doing a bit of damage to Aftermush, but they shift the aggro. Pharaoh will have healthier. All this action down here, they'll also secure the top lane. Overall, WG in a really good spot on all of these lanes. If they can continue that, well, and that's exactly what they need to do with Pharaoh. Oh, right-click trades. Didn't go for the bottles. Oh, does he? Oh, did. Has it coming out now?
Radiant's top tower is under
Finds a
attack.
rune immediately, so it's pretty useful. Jules trying to play with the bounty runes. Trying to do what he can. Once those Nyx Assassin hits level 6, then things start to turn around a little bit. We have the bad run at 6, and Rappy already trying to make use of that. Just need to get close to Vero. The slow is not really going to do it with the surge already out, and the stun will also miss the wall. Try and slow them down, but yeah, they impale the Spike Carapace on the Iron Shell. Give Rappy enough space to get close enough here for Velo. So, bit of a commitment. Velo's still not quite there just yet. They don't actually have the power. Now X-Nova even coming through. A bit of a turnaround. The Iron Shell on top of him. Rage available in a second again. Same for the Infest, so X-Rock should be fine here. Yeah, this Darkseer proving to be quite tanky.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
For the Temple Dominator as per usual. Jules. Yeah, Spike Carapace, the Bash still connect. And don't see Iron Shell for another couple of seconds. Not gonna be enough though. Look at top lane though, the Sentinel Lancer. Has a stake, has the Aquila. It looks like he might be just saving up for the Boots of Travel into the Diffusal Blade. I mean, if you have this kind of a free lane, it's super effective farming item. That's interesting. You can just bounce around the map. Take farm wherever you find it, maybe join into some of these earlier fights. I mean, if Pharaoh sets up for something for you, then just storing out the Spirit Lands might just be enough to put someone over the edge, get that easy kill. Keep it down bottom. Gonna be Jules coming through as Aftermush is looking for Extract, and there's the bash just as the ultimate comes out. Level 6 available from Aftermush too, like trying to throw it out, but Jules dropped it for the time being. That's still, there it is. Extract is trying to go for the Infest, and he gets it off now. Jules no Invest, so just gonna... Oh, that's a good heal bomb actually as he passes the creep wave. Might still be enough to save the life steal. Turns around for another stun. Going to try and turn on X-Nova, but the Shockwave is there just in case. Not sure about that charge again, but they do have another heal bomb to secure the double kill. X-Nova, he's the real carrier here. Make no mistake.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Battle very strong in these kind of situations. We have the tower last hit here because the Siege Creep is so strong. But our tower down is a tower down. Nothing HappyFeet have not been able to accomplish at all here in this game. They've right-click middle a little bit, bottom lane is still completely healthy, same for top. So the momentum is building. HappyFeet, well, they don't have too much time, I don't think. Giving some space out to Jules for the level 6, so it's the most obvious infest gang that doesn't really need too much else. Batra, he needs a blink dagger to be really super effective with that, and Goldspirit, you need the mana pool. Right now, it doesn't really have too much of that. WG, they can feel very comfortable. Still holding onto the Sonic Wave. Pharaoh has not really had to join these kind of attempts, these kind of pressure attempts in the bottom lane. Might be something happening mid now. Jules, again. Let's hit level 6. He's Afromush. Also big old Satyr with the Iron Shell on top of him. Alright, let's start off with the stun. Got coming through though. Hits on a couple of people actually. Velo searching on out of there. Everyone TPing in. Oh, there's someone, yeah, there was Phantom Lancer trying to TP in onto the creep. But then decided that it's probably best to just stay where he is at. And Jabami is definitely right on that assumption. Full 5-man commitment there for HappyFeet. They get that kill in the end. Super important, especially considering that the Storm Spirit got that. Still have a long way to go. 4.7k to the 5.1, 5.2 of the Queen of Pain. This Lincoln Sphere queued up first, so you're up against a Bat Rider. Gonna be useful. We might still need to BKB eventually. Because even though Lincoln Sphere does block Burrow Strike from the Sand King, it does not block the Impale. Because Impale is a proper ground target spell. Will also block the mana button though, that'll come out eventually. Doesn't prioritize that. Can't really blame him. I mean, he's not been that kind of game. He hasn't been able to spend a lot of time mid and spamming that out. Again, WG then. We're doing it. No charge across onto Rappy. It's another free kill and well, a whole lot that they could have done. No vision on this area. Coming as well. Being shot up from which still has the ultimate. He's still fine. Oh, is he? Ooh, so close. I think if Pharaoh throws on his ultimate a little bit earlier, maybe they actually get that kill, but well, not quite enough bash duration just yet. Quite enough stun. We'll see being patched up now. There's something Vendetta to work with, and Aftermoosh not have detection. But doesn't matter, X-Nova doesn't have it either. So, well, Vacuum, Iron Shell trying to burn him down almost with the heal bomb. He's gonna be able to TP away. HappyFeet. They need to try and find a way to break this momentum, even without the Blink Deck and Bat Ready. Went for the drums first. No boots even. Or no upgraded boots, I should say. But they have that Infest Bomb. They find Velos, trying to search away. The stun will make sure they stay in range, but the bash coming through before the lasso can come out. Velos, they're absolutely fine. Drop down the wall. The Rappy is the one to fall instead. WG, they have most of the lineup here. And Phantom Lancer, well, he's still working on that Fusel Blade. He wants to finish that if possible before he joins the fight, but if necessary, if he sees an opportunity, he can. Actually, he's the one who's here. Pharaoh is the one who's missing. Bit blind there. Sorry about that. That will actually mean that WG may be a little bit more timid in terms of going onto HappyFeet here. See Jules still walking past that Observer Sentry combo. They get it off. Everyone's stunned due to Spike Carapace, but now the Dust makes sure they can keep track of him. He just dies, and Ben-Hur is not ready yet from Stormpit to fight against this. He needs a lot more time and space to finish up that Bloodstone at the very least. I thought it was happening. Pharaoh is linking in aggressively. It's maxed out, so it's not the long duration, but they do have the lasso. Not the longest cooldown, I should say. He does not do have the lasso, but he still gets linked to the side, slowed down a little bit by the Napalm. No more control available here, so he gets a blink out. Meanwhile, Jabami is also sitting around this area. Charge coming through, also keeping vision here, and they'll make sure that WG can make the call. Hey, no, that's a little bit too hot now. He's so effective all across the map. While if that was happening, Velo is still working away down bottom. Taking over that seed creep here from the Radiant side to help him out, so good thing with the help of the Dominator Aftermoosh. He's winning, I believe. Out of that, I got caught out by farming. We catch you from HappyFeet, but they need much more than that. Jules on the hunt already. Velo though proving to be too tanky here. It was more than Jules here, but like Carapace maxed out at this point, so it's very easy stun at the very least with the Iron Shell going. Where's the damage output? I mean, Benhu at this point, if he's walk close enough, you can provide it. But you cannot afford to expend a lot of your mana pool on the zip. Oh, Jules! Oh. Again. I didn't even know how they realized he was there. He body blocked or something? Or I don't know. Ran the dust. Well, we're gonna is gonna find the kill. Benhu kinda low on mana here. Just have stick charges out of ass though. Nice dodge here on that particular charge, but the ultimate's still coming through. No bash. HappyFeet now he's being stunned up. Extract trying to do what he can. He does have the armor to work with, but no extra items on his life steal just yet. Now vacuum back here. Rage a little bit too late to prevent that damage. Now charge through on the aggressive Vash. Taking all the way back up to the high ground. Setting up for the tower here. Again, they still have that siege creep to work with. This is why having a Helm of the Dominator on your team is so useful. Especially on Velo. But now Invis, he's walking into it again. The charge, they're just controlling him up. Dust to follow. Jules can't even get the stun off. Extract still popping out from HappyFeet. Should end up falling. Maybe not though with that ultimate. Now the vacuum back here into another couple of right clicks. That lifesteal just feels not tanky at all, and WGU, they're the ones who carry this momentum all the way to the high ground. 2 heroes down for the count, another 10 and 20 seconds respectively. The 17-minute high ground push. Gonna be able to bring down the tier 3 and probably Rex too. And we're gonna have to try and delay this here, but it doesn't even do any damage. The little damage he does is being counteracted by the Shadow Wave spam here. Another Spike Carapace. Fortification coming through, and WGU finally decided to turn around, but they have a defensive weave coming through. There's a Shallow Grave coming off cooldown right now in case they need it, but after Mush with a perfect charge in. He might actually need the Shallow Grave now with the Stick Charger. He'll make sure that he can get it off, so he's walking away. Vero coming back in, man kill streak, bringing down the next assassin one more time. Yeah, Spirit Break even survives that one. Sticking around for a range tracks, even though that's not really necessary at this point. But they realize that HappyFeet, they have nothing to throw at them right now.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
That series of events, insane amount of net worth lead. I mean, 18.5 minutes in, 17k net worth lead, almost 1k advantage per minute. This is how you know that you're in a lot of trouble, if HappyFeet knew that this was the exact number. And they must realize that they're in dire straits, obviously. But, well, I know the Bloodstone on Storm Spirit. That's something. Oh, he died with it once, apparently? I got a couple of kills back. He must have, because Stars was sticking charges, apparently. And he's down to 14. Oh well, anyway. WG. Getting more shiny toys by the minute. Yasha available for the Phantom Lancer, going towards Atlanta style. Pharaoh, instead of Orchid. What's it Lincoln now? And okay. Gonna try and bring down the Phantom Lancer, but you have to say anything? Like, WG. One of the reasons that they're super far ahead is that they are the ones who are dictating the pace of the game so perfectly well. They're reading the map properly. HappyFeet has just been all over the place. They're always where they need to be, and they have the damage to back it up. So that attempt, they try to make something happen without a lifesteal even. So just Benhu and Jules, but more than enough. Phantom Lancer survives, and now that's another push. Still the trust siege group, but this time the blink into the last here, trying to bring down Darkseer at the same time, going on to Dazzle, taking them out. Great idea. 1-4 trade though was bad right. It does not survive this one after Mush going ham together with Jabami. Double kill for the Phantom Lancer now. Looking for more, chasing him all the way to the fountain. Jesse Vash. That's just doing the Dazzle flip. That TP, I haven't seen anything more hopeful in my entire life. 3 heroes down. They got X Nova. It's the right start. Technically, you need to do that because anyone else you go on just gonna get graved. Also brought control of the Darkseer so you could vacuum all everybody while they're doing that. It's just too little too late. Yeah, now a proper 1k per minute advantage, even more than that. And I wouldn't blame HappyFeet if they call GG right now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There it is. Well, after that one, brutal, savage. Those are other words that I forgot. Papa. WGU coming out strong in game number 1, and that means the HappyFeet after only 21 minutes of game time. Already. 1 game away from elimination here in the Galaxy Balance SEA qualifiers. And yeah, I've got nothing more to say. These lanes just worked out way too well for WGU. I mean, this the Spirit Breaker Darkseer combo just ran all over X-Ray. Even once Jules came in a little bit too late, they weren't able to put on enough pressure on Jabami to make up for that. And the mid lane was also not really working out, just because Storm Spirit overall generally not the favorite matchup. Been able to hold on up against Pharaoh, but with all the extra attention towards that as well from Aframush. Once again, just shout out to him. 17 assists, 4 kills. That's Spirit Breaker working out well for them to set all of this up. We'll see what they can do in game number 2 though. I'll take a short break, but I'll be right back. Stay tuned.